We are currently next in line for takeoff and are expected to be in orbit in about 3 minutes. We ask that you please fasten your seatbelts at this time. We also ask that you mute all personal electronic devices, including tablet PCs and cell phones. Movement should be curtailed and smoking is prohibited for the duration of this flight. In case of an emergency landing, follow the red lights along the walls to the closest exit. There are restrooms right outside the passenger cabin, and if you need anything, please ask any of the air hostesses around. For more information on how to navigate the Ventures Platform Galaxy, please refer to the deal books handed to you at the front desk. Now sit back as we get ready for takeoff. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mimshako Bioha, and I'll be your captain for the duration of this flight. As we explore the Ventures Platform Galaxy, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be making stops at 6 amazing startups with incredible founders, solving some of the most pressing problems with huge market potential. I'd like you to understand that these founders are superheroes, facilitating e-commerce, ensuring financial inclusion, redefining education, preventing cultural extinction, tackling unemployment. These startups are recreating our future, and they are changing the narrative. But before we begin, some housekeeping. Do endeavor to bring the movement and noise to a minimum, as this might be very distracting. But if you need to use the restrooms, there are restrooms right outside the passenger cabin. And if you need anything, and I mean anything at all, do endeavor to get the attention of one of our air hostesses. At this point, I'd like you to bring out your mobile devices, tablet, PCs, or smartphones. Could you please bring them out? Thank you. I would like you to please mute them. On board these aircraft is access to Wi-Fi. And at this point, I'd like you to fire up your browser and input this: www.vpdemoday.com. What you'll find is a mobile interest form that has a short synopsis on each of the startups and a box to indicate if you're interested in them or not. This will enable us to follow up on you after Demo Day. Right after the presentations, outside the passenger cabin, all startups will be available to take your questions or feedback. And in the deal books that were handed to you at the front desk, you have a short synopsis on each of the startups and a space for you to take notes, whether comments or questions. We'd like to ask you to please use them. With no further ado, I'd like you to join me to make welcome our founder, the man that saw all this before it was here. With a rounding ovation, please put your hands together for Mr. Kola Aina. Introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you guys here today. We're going to get right into the show. It's about an hour, 30 minutes. But I just want to start by saying this is really not just an event.
This is a business meeting. This is an opportunity for 6 amazing companies, young companies, to show you how much progress they've been making and to perhaps invite you to join them as they try to change certain segments of our society and create economic value. But before I go, I say thank you to a few people. First off, thank you to the startups. Thank you to the founders. Thank you to the teams. Thank you to everyone that has worked so hard over the past few months through the program. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I also like to say thank you to the investors that are here today, that have traveled from far and near, from different parts of the country, some people from out the country to make it here today. I also like to thank the VP team. You guys have worked extremely hard. This has been a long journey. And our friends, our partners, our corporate partners that have supported the program, and everyone that has made it here today. We have some amazing partners that have worked with us from a legal perspective to providing support for the companies. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Now, the past 7 months have been brilliant. I mean, we've learned so much. We've had ups and downs. We've had curveballs. We've had low moments and high moments. But it all culminates in today's event. And so what you see today is months of work, months of trial, months of experimentation. When we started this about 7 months ago, we were very clear that we were doing an experiment. And so we went around and we spoke to several people that had experimented with doing this before. And we got lots of feedback. But no feedback is as real as the feedback you get when you hit the road. And so we've paid attention, we've taken notes, and we're still very open to your feedback and your suggestions of how we could do this better. What I can tell you, though, is that we are committed to doing this, and we will not stop doing this. We believe that we are onto something, and we invite you to join us. Now, but why are we doing this? We're doing this because we believe that young entrepreneurs are critical to solving the problems, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. We believe that government in itself is incapable to move our continent forward. We believe that entrepreneurs with the right level of hunger, that have identified the right problem and have built the right solution around it, given the right support system, giving access to the right mentors, giving access to funding, and not a whole lot of funding really, because the mistake made in traditional stage to think you can throw money at a problem. Believe that there's a lot more than money that these companies need, and that's why we started Ventures Platform. Now, over the last few months, we've learned more as we've gone along, and I'm not going to bore you with that. At the end of this event, there's a video that you would see that will tell you a bit about our story. But just so you know how we got here, these companies, we don't know them. We never knew them from anywhere. We went through a process, an application process that saw 600 companies from across the continent apply. And we went through several stages and ended up with 7 companies, 7 amazing founders, 7 founders that had ambitious ideas when they came in. And today, you'll be meeting 6 of the 7 companies. The 7th company needs a bit more time to mature, and so you'll be meeting them the next time we have Demo Day. Now, how can you be a part of this? There are 3 ways we believe you can join us as we embark on this journey. The first is to join us as a corporate partner. So either you're supporting our program, or we are designing an acceleration program for your organization to solve some innovation challenge or to drive improvement in a particular area. The second way you can join us is to invest in what we're calling the VP Fund, which is a fund that we're just about to launch, which will expand our capacity to support companies. Currently, we have 7 companies in this program. Our goal is to move that number up to 20 companies at every batch. In the early stage, the more companies you support, the higher the chances of success. And the third way you can support us or work with us is to invest in one of these companies. Like I said, this is not a movie, this is not a showcase, this is a business meeting. So we hope that at the end of this event, you probably would have a few questions. Right outside the hall, we have booths where you can meet with the founders, you can ask them questions. They have decks they can send to you. They have term sheets already, and you can take the conversation forward. But I want to dwell a bit on how to invest in a VP company. Because at VP, we have an ethos. And our ethos at VP is that it's very important to be founder-friendly. We believe that if we take a founder-friendly approach to supporting companies, they have a high likelihood of. And I'll tell you why. So first of all, it's very important to note that companies are early-stage companies. Some of these companies were just founded in about August of last year, for instance. But they validated their business model, and they're showing really rapid growth. Now, it's very important to keep this in mind as you talk to the founders and as you negotiate with them. The role of an accelerator like VP is to provide them, to sort of jumpstart these companies and provide sort of the things that early-stage founders don't think about. The second important point that I like to make is that the best investors are investors that can bring much more than cash to the table. So these founders are interested in investors that can open doors, make introductions, and give them valuable feedback. The third point I like to make is that VP has already done great lengths of due diligence on these companies. Our legal partners are longer practice. If you're an investor, an active investor, you probably already know them. And so if you trust them, then you can trust these companies. And I see the ladies from longer practice in the audience. Thanks for coming, guys. They're great practice, by the way. If you don't have a lawyer, look them out. The fourth point is our recommended investment instruments. We are recommending a convertible note. And this is recommended because the discussion around valuation can be very, up and down if you've done it before, especially at the very early stage because of the challenge around valuation. And so we believe that convertible notes is the preferred investment instrument. Now, all these companies have term sheets already. Obviously, there's some specific, they're all raising different amounts of money, and so you can review their term sheets and have discussions with them. Now, if you must do an equity investment, because we are founder-friendly and because we want to keep the founders motivated, we ask that you do not negotiate too high an equity take, if you know what I mean. Because we believe that we have evidence that this hasn't really worked well for lots of the startups in our part of the world. The founder loses interest. The founder now sees the business as a side hustle, and your money is just going to coast. So it's best that you have a small piece of a really great pie. That's our philosophy at VP, and we hope you can buy into that. Now, these founders are they need to focus on building their business, and so it's important that you give them clarity early on, what you require, the information you need, and how long it takes you to invest. And last but not least, or second to the last, whichever, is we ask for your partnership. So if you know any way we can do this better, let us know. Finally, if you run into any hitches with them, you can report them. Send us an email at hello, and I believe that email is up there, hello@venturesplatform.com. We told them this already. They're not graduating. We're still here with them. We're still watching them because we have an interest. We've invested already. So if you have any issues with any of the founders, send us an email. Thank you for watching. And before I go, just one last thing, if you're not convinced yet. Some of these companies have grown 10x in the past 4 months that they've been in the program. Imagine what can happen with your support. Thank you for coming, and I ask you to enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.